Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of First Time Watch Fridays here on Horror Film Lovers. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and we got an interesting one for you. Hold on one second, let me grab the movie. All right, sorry about that. Here we go. XCU, aka Extreme Close Up. Um, so there's a couple things I want to talk about on this movie. First of all, I bought it for a couple reasons. First of all, because if you notice it, I don't know if it says it on here. It doesn't. Basically, it's from Sean S Cunningham, the director of the hit Friday the 13th. It's produced by Crystal Lake Entertainment, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And it's also basically stars a bunch of people that I've been wanting to see in a bunch of movies. So Danica McKellar is the main reason I had originally wanted to get it. It was her and J. Michael Ferguson, who were both in both in a bunch of movies, and I wanted to get like basically every movie that they've been in or whatnot. And one of the ones I wanted to do was this one eventually on some kind of review. And so I bought this. So for the longest time, like this was not available. Like you couldn't find it anywhere. And I kept looking, didn't find it. One day I went on eBay and was like, you know what? I want to see if they have that movie because I think I bought a bunch of Danica McKellar and J. Michael Ferguson movies. So I was like, I want to buy that one. And so I went online and I started looking for it. And weirdly enough, I found it through this company in I guess it's in Greece, that do DVDs, that sell DVDs, like out of print or hard to find DVDs. I don't think this is out of print. I think this just was never done in for some reason in uh America. I don't know why. I think somebody like Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome or somebody should try to get the rights to it and put it out on Blu-ray. I mean, it does look pretty cool. It's got some really interesting editing choices. They decided to go with a lot with it looking like half of the movie is sort of filmed in the uh reality show stuff, and the other half is just whatever. So uh ooh, I can't even read the back. The back is actually in Greek. In fact, I was trying to look at the subtitles, but the subtitles were in Greek. So I was like, I guess I'm not going to be able to do that. Thankfully, the movie itself was in English, which was really good. I didn't have to worry about that. But the rest of the movie was, like the subtitles, and apparently the back of this box is in Greek. Um, so that's understandable. Whatever. It's kind of cool. I was happy to get it. It didn't take very long. In fact, the interesting thing about that was that when I went to go get it originally, the person that, the seller was on break or on vacation or whatever and said that he'll be back at a certain time. So I waited till a certain time and he still wasn't back. So eventually he came back and I bought the movie. It was like $22 and well worth it. I mean, I think it's still there. I showed a friend of mine, hoping he buys a copy because it's not an easy to find movie. It is sort of one of those movies that, now I thought it was going to take a lot longer to get to me, but it actually kind of took pretty quickly. They say this certain time period, but it got earlier than that. So that was good. But all in all, it was an interesting movie. It was about a show called Extreme Close Up, sort of like Real World, where all these, and they're not contestants or anything. They're not winning a prize. But they're sort of building relationships with each other, and you kind of follow the stuff that they're doing. So most of the movie is drama. Why it falls in the horror film aspect, it says thriller, but no, it's a slasher, so it's a very horror-like, which perfect. Right up my scary alley. I loved it. Dark and scary alley. I just couldn't wait to actually pop it in. So I finally got to get it, and I was, I was happy with it. Like this movie was actually a lot of fun. Was it gonna be amazing or something? I didn't even think that it ever would because like nobody heard of it and it sort of disappeared. So obviously it really wasn't that big of a thing. So I knew it wasn't going to be something that like knocked my socks off, but as a standard slasher with some kind of comedy in it, AJ Buckley is fantastic. Sarah Chalk has some comedic moments, which is great. She's normally known for comedy, so for her to do a movie like this was pretty awesome. See Thomas Howell in it. Just everybody in this movie just blew me away in some way or another. So I really dug it. I dug the kills. There were a few good kills. There was when you find out who the killer is, I mean, uh, yeah, I don't know. When I found out who the killer was, I wasn't that surprised. I wasn't really guessing that person, but I wasn't surprised, because when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, okay, that seems about right. That seems to be what they would do. Um, but that was an interesting thing, seeing Sean S Cunningham, who's known for creating Jason, but the first Jason movie he ever did was Friday the 13th, right? The first Friday the 13th. And that was more like along the lines of Scream or whatnot, where you don't know who the killer is most of the time. You just know it's some person running around killing everybody. When you find out the whole backstory, then it sort of makes sense. No backstory or, there were no motive really other, in this, like, there wasn't anything like I was like, oh man, that was an interesting reason. Honestly, this is gonna sound terrible, but they needed a really good writer that was used to writing really good like slasher flicks. Not Victor Miller. Sean and Victor are not cool right now. There's a lot of problems with Crystal Lake Entertainment and with the Friday the 13th franchise. It's just insane. But to go back to what I was talking about earlier with Crystal Lake, there is a reference to Crystal Lake in the movie, other than being produced by Crystal Lake Entertainment. There is an actual scene with a I guess it's like a preview of like one of the upcoming episodes of Extreme Close Up. And so they have a scene where the what is it? Um where like there's a person who actually says the name of the or says like they're from the Crystal Lake Gazette. And I was like thinking that would be cool. Like I would love see that's what I want to see more of. I want to see like a universe of Crystal Lake stuff. And so but then they kind of screwed up and they showed like the guy watching, I think it was Friday the 13th part 8. And I want to say it was that one. And I was just like thinking, why are they showing Jason if this is supposed to take place in Crystal Lake? Like that's a continuity error if I've ever seen one because it's supposed to be, I guess this was supposed to be taking place in Crystal Lake, you know. Why would they or around Crystal Lake or whatnot? Why would they call it because they do say like from the craziest town or something. So I was like, oh, so this does supposed to take place in Crystal Lake, but it's so strange. It's such a strange little movie. I I enjoyed it like for its kind of weirdness and I liked AJ Buckley, this guy, the most. He was definitely somebody that was scary at times and stuff. You didn't know what was going on, but so also was there was C. Thomas Howell's character. There's a lot of people they were, trying to like make you, think, is that the person? Is that the person? Is that the person? and I'm not going to tell you who it is. But I will tell you, it was, like I said, it was a little surprising. So all in all, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I had a fun time. I don't think this is like my top movie or anything. If I had to give it a star rating, I'd probably give it a 3. I mean, it was good. It was interesting. It kept my attention. I liked all the characters enough where, there was a cat incident, which I was not happy at first. Like whenever I see a cat or a dog come into a horror movie, I'm like, no, 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 get out, get out of the movie. Because like my whole heart is racing. Like, is something gonna happen to that cat? Is something gonna happen to that dog? Something does happen to the cat, but unfortunately, or fortunately, you don't see it on camera really, and so it didn't bother me. Or if you did, you see it for like a split second because I didn't see it. So I was like, okay, good. So that made me happy. But aside from that, there wasn't really anything, too bad in it or whatever. It was pretty tame for a movie. It did have some nudity in it, so if you're looking for that, it's like I think it's the same chick who does it twice. So it's there. There's nudity in the movie. But and if you're going there because you're a Danica McKellar fanatic like myself, I love her, I adore her. I want everything that she's ever done. Eventually. Um, I got it for that mainly. And it's well worth it. She's not in it for like a long time, even though she's on the covers and stuff, which is kind of disappointing that they would show her name on the covers, but she's really not in it for very long. Um, but she does have some screen time and she does get a little lesbian action going on. So that's all I'll say. Which was very surprising. Uh, but kind of cool because it was a different character for her to play, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoy everything sort of thing for this film. So I think you guys would like it. If you guys don't like it, or if you guys seen it and you're just like this was, because I've seen some letterbox reviews and some people just did not dig it, and that's fine with me. Like, I mean, understandable, but I did. I thought it was fun. So you're into that kind of stuff, let me know and tell me what you guys think. Till then, everybody, bye.